and you're watching Pro Teaches News. Ooh, is somebody talking about pros? Not that kind of pro. See you there.
Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teaches News. Today with me, Jared.
Oh boy, we're at the third one.
Yep. And well, let's just see if the majority of it is good or not. Let us see. Yeah, we are going over because yes, we know about the one infamous part, but does the rest cover it? Make up for it.
It might.
Yep. Superman Batman Generations 3. And if you know what it says, an imaginary series. That is the big reason why Byrne was upset when they tried to dub it as an alternate universe in the Kingdom when they brought in Hyper Time. It's like, no, it's an imaginary story. He wanted to be very precise on it. It wasn't an Elseworld. I mean, it is an Elseworld, but not an alternate universe.
But isn't that what an Elseworld is?
In his eyes, he felt imaginary series were completely different. He was being technical.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, but we start off in the 20th century with Saturn girls showing up. I give up. I don't think algebra is ever going to make any sense to. Huh? Superboy, help me. Clark, she called you Superboy? No, she said fine Superboy. Heard her plain as day. Lando, gosh, and whatever's the matter in here. Clark, who's that poor girl? I don't know, Ma. And she passed out. So she won't be able to tell us for a while. Maybe we better go and do what she asked and go see if we can find Superboy. And find Superboy. That's Pete saying that. You're right, Pete. Lana, you stay here and help Ma take care of that girl. But this is going with the pre-crisis where Pete knew, but Lana didn't. Mm-hmm. Not post-crisis where they flipped it. Mm-hmm. And I saved it back there, Pete. For a moment, I thought Lana finally had me for sure. But that was Saturn Girl from the Legion of Superheroes from the future. And for her to arrive so subtly, so openly, can only mean something very bad is happening. Oh, and look, it looks just like the takeoff pose from the end of Man of Steel.
Yep.
I gotta find out what and fast. Okay, I would say his Superboy doesn't look that bad.
No, not really. I don't think so.
Yeah, it actually looks like a boy. But meanwhile, there's a fort and Fort Dexter in Kansas. We're seeing it was some kind of energy pulse. It blacked out every piece of electronic equipment on the base for about 10 seconds. Any way to triangulate the source, Corporal? Not sure, sir. It didn't seem to be a directional effect. Captain, I'm in contact with Fort Carlson in Oklahoma. Carlson, I don't know, right? I'm seeing somebody else. They felt the effect, but not as strong as us. That may be the answer. If this thing got weaker over the distance, get everyone on the horn. Call every base, every installation, every man in uniform in the country if you have to. Maybe we can figure out the center effect. As Superboy flying in, it's a small, very small platoon of parademons. Mm-hmm. All right, that's what they are. Oh, and this is again going back to the continuity issues. We have Jervis and Pennyworth.
Okay.
But only in this one, because the reason why, you know what the reason why is? Mm-hmm. Because this is an actual story set in the past. It's not a flashback.
I see.
That's why he originally did it where if it was a flashback, it would be Alfred. If it's actually set in the past like this, it's Jervis. Mm-hmm. But again, it's like, though it is times like this, I am almost glad my son chose to pursue a career on the stage instead of following our family tradition of service. But I only hope and pray you'll soon find an outlet for your anger on the world. So right now, Bruce is just Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. He's not gonna be Robin or Batman or Flying Fox. He's just Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But so Lana is not falling for it this time. Mm-hmm. She's ready to forget some questions, but everyone is fumbling. Like, I'm sure nothing to worry about, and that's raising her suspicion finally. Mm-hmm. So she decides, like, there are better ways I can spend my time than running all over Smallville looking for Doc Morton. I'm gonna find out what that girl wanted Superboy so badly. Now there's Bruce ready to fly off because he's trying to find out about what's been going on over there. According to the wireless, the pulse affected the whole center of the continent. So yeah, it was an EMP pulse, but it only affected a big portion. Now, of course, Superboy is able to handle it. Like I said, this is a very small platoon of parademons. Easy to manage.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you see about the parademon designs here?
I like how they like no matter what version you're talking about, they all roughly have the same look.
Exactly. Here you can tell there's a humanoidness to them more so.
Yeah. Was this when they were just like enslaved people?
No. This is where we're going with the they are manufactured.
Okay, I see.
That's important for the story.
Mm-hmm.
But of course Superboy has no idea who these guys are. But soon the army shows up. Meanwhile, Lois has snuck on with now. Byrne is keeping Lois's fathers in the military. That's the one modern element he's keeping because it helps the story.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes some sense. When I saw Dad leading the whole base out on maneuvers, I thought it would be a good idea to stow away. I didn't expect to spend the next hour and a half bouncing over every unpaved back road in Kansas. Oh well, we're here now, and all those aches and pains will be forgotten once holy, what the heck is that big glowy thing? Now I'll tell you this is clearly where we're getting more Byrne drawing and inking himself instead of the past so this is where we're getting a bit more of the rough artwork compared to what we had before he was here.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that? Like, this is a little bit rougher.
Mm-hmm. Like, can you hang on 1 second? I just got to take care of something
Don't worry.
real quick. Give me 1 second.
Don't worry, I'm putting up a pause.
All right. 1 second. I just got to take care of something.
Mm-hmm. No worries. We've all been there.
Yeah. I am back. Sorry about that.
All right, no worries, no worries. We're good now. So, but yeah, so obviously there's young Lois stowing away. We then see Superboy meets up with General Lane, trying to figure out what's going on about this invasion. Hopefully, and Superboy's hoping it doesn't lead to Saturn Girl, who is dying because things have gotten really bad in the past. But yep, so we see Bruce showing up. We see Lois and Lana. Like, not sure what I can do, but I've got to think of something. Oh my gosh, what's going on there? It's like a Second World War because it is before the Second War. Happening right in the middle of old McKenna's field. Whoever the bad guys are, they seem to be giving even Superboy a run for his money. Maybe I can get closer. Hey, who are you? You're not from Smallville. Tell me how that's any of your business, Carrot Top. But first, tell me who you are and what you think you're doing it throwing into a military zone. Oh, and who died and made you queen of the... Dong? They walked right into Saturn Girl's time bubble. But I was like, oh, grow up. The army has nothing this advanced. Oh, and how would you know that, small fry? Because I've been in the army all my life, Red. I love how these two are just bickering with each other already. But it's also the case of the city girl and the country girl, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, Saturn Girl, yeah, she's dying, and she feels like we have to tell her. I have to tell him before I die. Unfortunately, the military shows up, and that would be bad, obviously. Now, Superboy and Bruce, who they make sure Bruce doesn't. They don't actually they do run into each other. He finds a device, throws it to Superboy, tells him, destroy this thing. He does, and they're able to take them all out. But then Irma decides to wipe everyone's memory of everything. To forget this invasion happened. So right now we have it be the simple, this is such a small parademon invasion. Basic early 20th century military could handle them.
Yeah.
That's important. Oh, that's important. Because as we'll see with each invasion, it's going to get worse. But of course, when we end here with everyone has now forgotten everything. And then it's like, I have a feeling something weird has just slipped my mind. I sure hope it wasn't something important. Okay, so this is supposed to be, so Saturn Girl has died. They'll end up burying her and everything. But at the same time, also we find out that Lois and Lana are transported through time. But this came out the same time Arkham Asylum Living Hell came out. I keep forgetting that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's also when Hush was going on.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, because look, there's the Poison Ivy issue. But now this whole thing jumps 100 years. So it's going to be each one's a different century until we get to the 30th century. Now this is where we see that Clark, Nightwing Clark, has two daughters. Kara and Lois. And so obviously, as we know, they'll have a lot of power just as much. But yeah, so this is way in the future. We also see that that Clark's wife, who remember was once a villain, has been trying to help redeem and rehabilitate Lex, who remember is now Metallo. But Lex got out. And meanwhile we're seeing recognize that Mohawk? Or the little circle symbol? It's OMAC.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
But then we see, turns out, like 4 days now, Cal. I hate to say it, but I think your hunch is wrong, and no one is more happy to know that than me, Bruce. Still, it is with such a strong feeling, almost a premonition. So you said. So now, just to make this clear, all of this is diverting from what we saw at the end of the first mini. Just to make that clear, everything here is going to diverge.
Yeah.
But So, but how does it feel to be home in Smallville after all these years? Ah, to say the least. Look at that skyline. It's already approaching what it looks like the first time I saw it in the 30th century. Funny how your pals in the Legion of Superhero never came to visit you again after, what was it, 1925? Yes, and it seemed like I was always too busy here to go see them. And there's that tingle at the back of my brain again, like there's something I'm supposed to remember. So yeah, they're wandering around, but then there's more to this, Bruce. There has to be. My X-ray vision can't sort out all the junk bird out there. I think I'm gonna have to dig up that field. So yeah, so of course, Lois and Lana, now keep in mind, they're kids, as you can see here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is important with what's gonna happen. But yeah, they are kids. And it's Laura and Lois. And but yeah, so of course meanwhile we meet up with Highfather, because there's gonna be a lot of new gods. Guard against tomorrow, guard against the dark side. So yeah, they're getting all this warning. Meanwhile, we're seeing the new JLA. There's Stevie again. Right there. Like, don't you need something called a boom tube? Because they've realized something they have to go and check on. They found parademons. That's what they found. So they realized something's going on. We need a boom tube to get me the new Genesis. Meanwhile, there's OMAC jumping in. Turns out Lex has teamed up with the parademons this time. So that's why they're getting ready to go and find him. OMAC is putting up their dukes and everything. And like, we've got Kryptonian blood, and we're more human than Bubble Brain there. But they're still affected by kryptonite. Meanwhile, we have Hal is utilizing the ring to simulate a boom tube. Uh-oh. And Lex has figured out OMAC's weakness to revert him back. But just as Superman shows up on New Genesis, turns out things have gotten bad. Apocalypse has shown up, and they're about to be sent into another dimension. So Superman is going to be taken off the board. Meanwhile, we're seeing then Clark has found, Nightwing has found his kids with Lex. But what does he do? The parademons are about to leave as they trigger a big explosion that sets off an EMP that will knock out technology for the next couple centuries. Let's think about that a second.
Oh, so it's kind of like, to use a modern story as an example, in Marvel, the story Taylor worked on, where it's like an EMP that gets rid of all tech.
And here's the this is this version of the Great Disaster.
Oh yes.
But yeah, so Superman's off the board, and Clark, Nightwing, and his kids were at the epicenter of this explosion. Meanwhile, we're seeing this version of this is the 22nd century, the 2125, and there's Kamandi.
There you go.
As he's leaping around dealing with the mutated animals, which have happened. Meanwhile, now what happened with the explosion? Lois and Laura have been locked into their ages, while Clark was aged a couple of years. And now, because Superman's been gone for a century, they decided, and he's regrettably decided to take up the mantle. Now, keep in mind, 100 years have passed since the last one. So technically, Lois and Laura are well over 100 years old. Keep that in mind again. Now we have more parademons, much bigger group than last time. Showing up, but they're acting like, whoa, the jump was successful. Again, little clues here. But keep in mind, they're aware of stuff, but people in this time are only aware of the past invasions. But yeah, so of course they feel like, oh well, we still got to help out however we can. We see Batman shows up with we see BJ, because BJ's been utilizing the Lazarus pit just as much. So of course he's going to be helping out with everything. We meet up with, they're trying to find Command D, as in the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting because they're trying to find Buddy Baker. That's supposed to be the original OMAC to make the clones.
Mm-hmm.
Because they want to make clones of OMACs.
Okay.
So yeah, everything is just building up. But we find out that turns out Kamandi and here isn't a boy; he's a girl.
Okay.
But she's like, I'm not gonna wear this, sissy. Dad, Cam, you're all right. Well, today is really a day for surprises, isn't it?
Cam, I see. All right, Cam.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I would think that's a cute little swerve.
Mm-hmm. Question: How is Kamandi alive if it's like the apocalypse?
Bunker.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
But now look who shows up here.
There's our, and I gotta say, I said this last time, last episode. I love that shield so much. That is such a cool shield.
And come on, we barely had her in the first mini.
Yeah, and this is Diana, right?
Yes, this is Diana. There's no Donna in this world.
Actually, I want to show you. You tell me something you might actually find pretty humorous. So I have an omnibus for the Byrne Wonder Woman. Look what's on the back cover.
Hold on, let me zoom in on you. Hold on. Ah!
It's that exact cover.
Boy, they must have put that in there.
I didn't have this, but I'm like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, wait a minute here.
Yeah, it's like, what? But to be fair, that is an awesome Wonder Woman cover by him.
It looks great. It looks great. That may even be one I homage in my book.
Yeah. Careful, careful. Handle him how you would the most newborn, delicate newborn. All of the work of centuries could be undone by a single clumsy mistake. Meanwhile, we find out Stevie died.
Mm-hmm.
She fought against a bunch of the parademons. They were trying to bring her there for the purple ray, but it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is the case where keep in mind, Clark doesn't have Lois anymore. This is well before he meets up with Lana again, so he's actually paired up with one of the other new gods.
Okay.
Dreamer of the new gods.
So there was a dreamer before Naya?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep, and the two have hooked up and they'll have kids.
That seems like a dream scenario right there.
Mm-hmm. But to be fair, I mean, he's stuck there. He's been stuck there for a couple of centuries.
Oh yeah, it's nothing wrong with Clark. It kind of makes Immortal Beloved seem kind of stupid.
But remember, but this is the case where he knows Lois is dead.
Unlike he knew she was dead.
That's true. But I'm saying this is the case he knew she was dead before even going into it.
I guess.
So it's a bit of a different headspace, is what I'm saying.
I guess.
But yeah, so of course we see this Buddy clone and everything. They're ready to make the army of them. Now, just to make now, of course, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that doesn't get filled and gaps that aren't explained, like where's Lex? That does get explained later. There's gonna be a lot of gaps that will get filled in later. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they're ready to try and use the Purple Ray and Stevie. Again, it doesn't work. Now, Batman's the one who told them to take Stevie to Paradise Island. But there's actually a reason why. Now, keep in mind, Batman has no clue about the Purple Ray. Mm-hmm. But yeah, look at this army of Buddy, Omax. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Diana losing Stevie, she decides, I'm gonna come back. Mm-hmm. She decides, time to get back and get into, I'm gonna defend. It's basically, wait, you realize this? Steve has come to the island and it's going to encourage Diana to come back.
Okay, that's actually really well done.
Yep. But all of a sudden, Buddy starts falling in pain for a reason we'll explain later on. But soon, some of the other Omex are feeling this and they're collapsing. But Diana shows up to kick some butt.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But of course, once again, the parademons decide to leave. Again, so each time they've been doing it, though, the battle's been getting harder, longer. and everything. Now, because as far as they're thinking, the armies keep coming back stronger or keep coming in stronger. But I just like, Bruce, I want to thank you for having Lois and Laura bring Stephanie home. I did not know you were aware of the Purple Ray. Purple Ray? Don't know what that is, Diana. I just figured if you saw your daughter had fallen in battle, it might inspire you to become Wonder Woman again. You son of a... That is so Batman.
Yeah, I love that.
Yep. Oh, but now he's seeing some images that was basically Saturn Girl had left a message in Superman's brain that Dreamer activates, and it's showing Brainiac 5 getting killed and everyone, her dying as she went back in time. And once again, look at this. We get the same similar last panel.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Oh.
Yep, like that one is very similar. Like it just took 300 years to understand what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now remember I told you before of one dangling plot thread about Mrs. Wayne?
Yeah.
Bruce, over here. Now remember, keep in mind now, we're at the 24th century.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now the year 2325.
Yeah.
But BJ is dying.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, right now we're finding it. This story. The more important thing about the story is they've already sent the parademons packing, but this is more about BJ. Mm-hmm. And now we find out about the different perspective. Like yes, and I regret that. I regret a lot of things. Before I break up the family one last time, there's one last thing I have to tell you. So she leads it to this micro disc that leaves a message. Hello, Bruce. Hello, BJ. You're watching this, so that means I'm dead. I wonder what that feels like. As I would have already have told you, there's something very important you need to know. I apologize up front for taking the coward's way out, but about telling you. But you see, BJ isn't really your son, Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, look, they utilized the old key for the fortress.
I like that.
Yep, but I know this is a terrible shock to both of you. And I know the first question that must be coming to your mind is, now this is back in 2008 to remind you, who is BJ's real father? Well, I have left a record of that information here where I am recording this disc. Someday, I expect it will be found, and then the world will know the truth. But I have a favor to ask of you, Bruce. Right about now, I'm sure you're not much in the mood to grant me any favors. But I want you to promise, Miss, you won't run off to try to find this place. I'm sorry to do this and to do it this way, but I have my reasons. Goodbye now, and remember, I love the both of you. So what does BJ decide? I'm going to go find it. We get some little things back and forth, a reminder of how much... there's Talia. Remember, Talia's been protecting the Lazarus Pit. And BJ decides, fine, I'll use it because you need me at top form so we can be Robin again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they go there, leads to a big fight, and then a projection happens. Turns out, hello, boys. What year is this, I wonder? Not too soon after I made this recording, I hope. But if you know as well, if I know you as well as I think I do, it should be Batman and Robin who are watching this message. I hope you can forgive my little white lie. Well, maybe a gray one. I was just so disturbed that BJ would not use Ra's al Ghul's magic to extend his life. I didn't want any more years than the fates gave me. But of course, I want so much more for my only son. Plus, I admit, I've been feeling bad about how I stood in the way of BJ becoming Dick's Robin. Then one day I thought of something that might solve both those problems. Something that might inspire BJ to use the Lazarus Pit and become Robin again. Of course, BJ is really your son, Bruce. But I thought if I was clever enough, I worded my message to you very carefully. I wanted to provide you just the right loopholes. This holo scanner would not have activated unless it was registered both your biotraces. So, just how well do I know my boys? This proves this is Selena! Mm-hmm. This is not Julie! This could not be Julie!
So in other words, your boy was right.
Yep. I mean, but it had to be, right? It's like,
yeah,
there's no way. The attitude.
That is Selena. That is Selena.
To a T, right? Like manipulating them just to make sure they'll apologize for keeping from being Robin and like use the Lazarus Pit, you dummy. Mm-hmm. But then, BJ decides, nope, I'm not going to use it this time. Why? Because he's been keeping Kara long enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And look at that, look.
Batman cries.
Because there goes his son with what and I love that. Hello, Uncle Bruce. Or can I call you Dad? I never got the chance to do that. We weren't even sure you were alive when BJ and I got married. Kara, yes, it's her, Dad. She's never been very far away. More than 300 years she's been waiting for it to be my time so we could be together again. BJ, it's right, Dad, and Dad, it's time. Please try to be happy for me. Goodbye, Dad. We'll see you again when you're ready to stop fighting. So I'm sure that won't be for a long, long time. Again, cool. When Byrne really nails it, he nails it hard.
The emotional core is all Byrne. It's so good.
Both here and even the stuff was, I'll just say Selena with Selena.
Yeah. But no one can ever say Byrne is a crappy writer. No one. No, absolutely not.
Now,
we may not like some of the character choices he makes, but no.
Now, speaking of the character choices.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now keep in mind, she is hundreds of years old, locked with no control over what she could in this form.
So in other words, outwardly, she's like, let's say, a teenager.
Almost tween, but yes.
So her body is a tween, but her actual, consciousness is like hundreds of years old.
Exactly.
So it's anime rules.
But here's the case where she could have aged fine, but that incident from the second issue locked her in this age.
Okay.
So, but here we get the tragic. Why? Why are you doing this to me? You know you love me. I love how it's a classic cover. Yeah. Romance cover. Like, why?
Yeah, I love that.
As much as I love you, Laura, this is not the time. Of course, it's never the time. It's never convenient for a Tor to discuss its feelings for me. Laura, please try to understand. You are but a child. Why? Child? I'm no child. I was born in the 21st century, more than 400 years ago. Then try to understand this from a Tor's perspective, Uman. Though he has seen 50 cycles of his world, by the standards of his race, he is no more than what you Umans call a teenager. Like, all right, I get it, okay? I get it. But a Tor, throw me a bone here. I'm not wrong, am I? You do have feelings for me. Yes, but Laura. No buts. If you love me, but you can't show it because you can't get past my apparent age, then I'll have to change it. Meanwhile, we're seeing Lois and Clark are meeting up with Martian Manhunter.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
That's a cool rope for Jean.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're seeing, it turns out Lex is still alive.
Of course he is.
He was just paralyzed for 4 centuries.
Mm-hmm.
But that captivity's over. Meanwhile, Lois has made her way to Gotham. Laura, is at Gotham trying to find something. Meanwhile, how much longer must we wait? It's been centuries since you said the incubation period was complete. Basically, by this point, Darkseid died by this point.
Mm-hmm.
He has been dead for a while, killed during its fight with Orion. Okay. But turns out he planted the seeds to cheat death.
Okay.
Through this, an incubation that resurrected him.
I love how he still comes back as a rock monster.
But it happened a little bit too soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bruce is helping her by finding gold kryptonite because she realized it was her Kryptonian nature that was locking her in her age.
Mm-hmm.
So she exposes herself to Gold K.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, the Green Lanterns are helping out dealing with some of the parademons and everything. Some of the lanterns get taken out. We see Clark and Lois are still trying to join in to help. But then big explosion happens. And turns out Ator is dying and there's radiation too intense. She could have done it if she had her powers.
Mm-hmm.
But what did she just do?
She got rid of him.
Oh, look at this.
So emotional.
And again, she did all of this to try and prove, fine, I'll age myself up properly because I love you that much.
Mm-hmm.
Now we get Superman has found his way back. This is going to be a 2-parter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going first, and I'm not inviting any debate. So basically, they decided to send him back there. They have they have 2 children, a son and a daughter, and he's just like, I'm going to use this boom tube to make my way back. And he shows up. He does make it. Shows up and sees. Well, for a moment, it's Laura, but she looks like Lois. You know, genetic. But then Batman, like, which you would know if you were really Superman. Her name is Laura. Batman. But since when can you hit so hard? Since about 75 years ago. Whoever sent you should have briefed you better. Look, I don't have any idea what's going on, but if you're really Bruce Wayne, it should be easy enough for you and you to figure out that I'm really who I seem to be. I can tell you're pulling your punches, but that doesn't prove anything. So what did he reveal? Your parents went willingly to their deaths, knowing that their murderers would help create Batman. I never told anyone that. Not even me. Grandpa Cal, is that really you? I'm halfway beginning to wonder myself. If you're my great-granddaughter and Bruce has superpowers, I think I have a lot more to catch up to do than I anticipated. So yeah, this is where we fill in a lot of the blanks. We find out Hal was the first victim because that EMP knocked out the power ring too.
Okay.
Civilization collapsed because this wasn't just a normal EMP. This was one of those powerful EMPs that would last. Like there was no undoing it.
So it's kind of like Act of God?
Well, no, that removed superpowers. I'm just saying this removed electrical powers.
Oh, okay, I see.
And the lantern ring is still technology, so... But yeah, so we get a reveal about everything, all the different parademons. They bring about OMAC, like only the descendants of Buddy Blank turned out not to have quite the same genetic coding he had. They were not subjectable and suitable subjects for our reborn Project OMAC. So they eventually went back to Command DE and found the remains of Buddy and made an army. Okay. Then we get a reminder of what happened with Stevie, all that. Turns out also Bruce and Diana hooked up for a little while.
Burn.
Yeah, hey, they even said, Bruce, you and Diana, is it really all that shocking, Cal? I may never have been the playboy of the image I cultivated, but I had my share of romance. Diana and I were together for about a century, so not that long in the grand scheme of things of this.
Okay,
but she eventually felt the need to go back to her people. So yeah, she eventually went back. We again get the summary about the gold kryptonite and everything. Luthor, yes, he survived, trapped in the robotic transport device. So yeah, everything still kept on going. The blackout bombs, he actually hacked a bunch of robots to attack people. Now, the tech, and what was called the tech war. Now, you see here, Laura did start to age a bit more properly. But because she was didn't have the Kryptonian side, a big shroud of kryptonite happened that killed off Clark and Lois.
Oh, boy.
So there goes those two. We're losing more characters. So, but what did they decide to use the gold K antidote? It makes sense, but they only agreed she'll do it if Batman will fight at her side. So what they do? Well, remember what Lex had created. He created a means to give a normal human superpowers, but it would kill them. You never tried it on an immortal, though.
Okay, that's
so it would work on Batman. So that's Batman has the power of Superman. And that makes sense here when you're in a war like this, right? Of course, then he asked, like, wait a minute, what about the Omax? Oh, right, we skipped that part. Turns out they had some sort of empathic link. When one died, they all felt it. And soon it became, like it was pointless. To keep doing it. But yeah, so eventually they later find out they stopped Lex. They finally stopped him, took him down. But then it turns out all of the robots, they rebuilt civilization. Why? Because they knew that parademons were going to be back soon. And they did. But now Superman started to put 2 and 2 together, and they soon find that Saturn Girl got buried underneath the Kent household. But then, of course, since the 20th century, in fact, I'm not clear on all the details, but I know it's connected to the parademon attack Bruce and I helped fend off in 1925. We thought that was the beginning of this assault on Earth, but it was really the end. Now, they'll clear that up in a little bit, but Superman tries going back in time. Meanwhile, this is where we find out about Lana and Lois are stuck, are in the bubble. Like, this thing took off without my touching anything. I think it knows where it's going, and it's not going to stop until it gets there. Mm-hmm. Now, Superman tried to fly off to go through time. Didn't work. He ended up coming. They started like, where'd he go? No idea. Then they hear a device that says Clark has been buried underneath for a couple centuries. Mm-hmm. Turns out when he tried going back through time, he bounced and landed back in the 19th century. Mm-hmm. And we actually find out scot-free and Metron had been time traveling themselves. But at the same time, we're seeing young Jonathan Kent.
Okay.
Because this would match their age. Mm-hmm. Because this is the year, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it.
I don't see it.
No, I'm looking for where it says 80 years, blah blah. Nope, it doesn't go into specifics, but all right. But still though, so we see that Jonathan is going to have a duel. He has to, and there's Martha. Mm-hmm. Oh, and look who else is here, Jonah Hex. Yeah, he's there to go after Jonah for people that killed that Jonah had killed. Good friends of him.
That makes sense.
And Johnny's name is Ken, and I'm Martha Clark. Oh, so they've realized that. But yeah, they're trying to find Caleb Lamb, who's someone that they're trying to find. Big fight tussle going on. Jonah's ready to take the guy down, but turns out a missed shot hit Martha. Mm-hmm. This is why Martha could never have kids.
Oh, okay, I see.
Now, she almost died, but thanks to a little help from Metron, they flew in one of the best doctors to help. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they could never have kids, but it doesn't matter. We're going to get married and everything. Mm-hmm. Of course, then they used New Genesis tech to keep them in stasis. But it said, but I don't understand. Have you been buried there for 700 years without anybody fighting you? That's the hardest part to get a fix on, Laura. You see, according to Metron, I wasn't. Meaning it's a case where wibbly wobbly, he didn't exist technically until that moment happened. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, time is in flux. There's a weird thing going on where something is preventing him from going through time. Because Scott and Metron are already destined to head back, there is a way of cutting through it, but only through the form of time travel that brought him there. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that a bit more. Okay. But now here is Darkseid, and with his big plan. It is done. Come, Decide. Come, Granny. See for yourself how we will at last annihilate the enemies of Apocalypse. Like all your works, great Darkseid, it is truly wondrous to behold. But beyond the scope of our limited comprehension, can you explain to us what it is we see? A helix, Granny. A temporal corkscrew that will twist the very fabric of time and space to my end. In this manner, this manner will defeat and be turned into victory by attacking our enemies at moments ever deeper into the past, when their defenses will be each time weaker and weaker. I do not understand, great Darkseid. Do you expect our troops to lose to the enemy? I never expect defeat, Granny. I would see now that this has been my greatest weakness. But with the helix, my shock troops can abandon the field of defeat and move back a full century before the assault, when our foes will not anticipate the attack. But forgive me if I seem to question, O Lord, but if this time jump is used more than once, will not then the enemy remember that they will and will be what will be for them in an event in their own past? No, Desad, they will not. For the nature of the helix is such that its effects are cumulative. Though my troops will be moving into the past, that past will not exist until they create it. You mean an attack on the Earth on the 24th century will not be remembered by humans of their 25th century? Because the attack in the 24th century had not happened yet? And precisely, now, Byrne explained this. Darkseid is insane. He's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He thinks it's working. Mm-hmm. He's not taking into account that once it reaches the past, it'll affect things going forward.
Yeah.
He does. So, well, yes, we've had a timeline of events where it did work. That changed the moment it got to the last rung. Mm-hmm. But again, And he said, an army of parademons with the gift of independent thought. In other words, he's going to make them sentient. And that gets explained here. This is where we get a lot more filling in. Oh, this is Byrne experimenting with CGI coloring.
I see.
I gotta say, not bad for a solo work.
Mm-hmm.
Not that good, but not bad. But yep, so now they're dealing with more of the parademons that they're attacking. But we see one of them had crashed and is found by this blind woman. So think Frankenstein's monster.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically starts to explain, like, could you take off your helmet? Yes, but I have never before had need to do so. Never? Oh my, your skin is rough. This is where we find out about the parademon, how Darkseid's alive, everything about them. And they explain about, yes, Darkseid and Orion had their final battle. And as was fated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was always the destiny. Father versus son.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, so Darkseid cheated it out. And yeah, they started making all of these. But this is where it's then revealed, like, about all of their issues, everything. But when he said you could all think as individuals, but that would change everything. Our whole battle plan has been based on parademons being mindless, insensate. But no one would fight with the ruthlessness needed if they know the truth. What? So they must never know the truth. Kill them! It was Laura!
Mm-hmm.
She killed him to keep the secret.
Wow.
And unfortunately, I'll say this one downside, they never get this revealed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they've stopped them all, and he's like, nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
But now we find out that Lois and Lana have showed up in the 30th century.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, the 29th century.
Yeah.
Oh, let's just say now, Darkseid is going to repeat Ultra Humanite's greatest trick.
Oh boy.
Okay, this is not that good here for the coloring.
No, particularly Metron.
Nah, not at all. Again, he was experimenting. That's fine, but
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically we're about to find out now. Unfortunately, Clark's kids, New Genesis kids, have begun to resent him because Clark hasn't been able to make his way back.
Okay, I see.
And again, it's been centuries for them, so yeah, they have a reason to resent him.
Mm-hmm.
But now Darkseid has shown up. Now we find out that during this time, Bruce and Laura have gotten together.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think that's a bit fine. They've been knowing each other for centuries by this point. She has aged
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And they actually did have a kid together.
Okay.
Who has already died by now.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, so because he did not want to use the Lazarus pit.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see Metron has crash landed. They're trying to give Clark another way back there. So he takes it. And when he shows up, there's his son, you know, yelling at him like, you let them die.
Mm-hmm.
So they meet up with Highfather. They explain about what happened. Oh, it was Big Barda. This is a Superman. You've come back to us. This is a joyous moment and a tragic day. Your own power is undiminished, I see, Barda. But basically, Darkseid starts to beat on everyone. We see Clark show up. It was bad. Everyone died. We see that he even kills Clark's two kids and then snaps Dreamer's neck right as he sends Superman right back to Earth.
Jeez.
And I love it. No, he wanted me alive. I just love this all. Like, and now one last test before I tend to you, Kal-El of Krypton. You have seen your children expunged. Now watch your wife die. No, can you, Kal-El? Perhaps if I wish so, as I wish your last memory of this world should be the most painful one. He mimics so closely the way Lucifer destroyed my first family. It's like he saw all the scars still in my mind, but he made a mistake, leaving me alive. The same mistake Lucifer made. For almost 1,000 years, I have fought my never-ending battle against the likes of Lucifer and Desaad. But I did it as a soldier, as a policeman, because it was the right thing to do, the just thing to do. Now Darkseid has made it personal. So now in the 29th century, as we see, they're trying to figure out what is all of this. And Lois is like, not sure, just had this wild idea that the bubble thing that brought us here was some kind of time machine. So they see the museum. They see, this is where Lana, who's just like, that makes sense. He wouldn't have stayed Superboy his life. Maybe we can find out something we need. So he sees like, Superman, he's married somebody named Lois Lane. Who the heck's Lois Lane? I'm Lois Lane. Superman's gonna marry me? That can't be right. Something must have awful happened to me. I gotta find out what. Slow down, Red. I bet they don't like what people running in museums here anymore. They do in the... Red? Clark is Superboy. Clark is Superboy. I knew it. 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 Who's Clark? But yeah, this is where they reveal so much of their backstory and everything to Lana. Now, Lana has basically found out this is what's meant to happen. Mm-hmm. That she is only there as his best friend. Mm-hmm. Nothing more. It makes it feel like everything she did was for nothing. Mm-hmm. And can you blame her for thinking that?
Yeah.
You can?
No.
Yeah. I'm just bringing it up because that's for later. Now, it turns out while everything looks fine here, turns out the fight is still... the fight is still going on outside. Now, make clear, the Legion does not exist yet. But they're at a point where the museum exists, just not the Legion yet. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they meet up with them and everything. Right as the parademons are attacking. They tell them how there was a time machine. They show it there, and like, this machine may be a godsend. Why? Here's why. When it left right before the Helix first activated, meaning it was already traveling when the time barrier started. So in other words, it made a path. Mm-hmm. Meaning this is the only way to get to where it all started. Mm-hmm. But then so what does Clark first do? They go back in time to the where it started to help Saturn Girl. Because only she knows what to do. So, I love this. Some soldiers tried to enter the house. I had to knock them out. But someone I'm sorry you never had the chance to meet. Ma? Pa? This is Lois Lane, your future daughter-in-law. I just love that look. She's like, hi? Mm-hmm. Come on. Could you imagine what's going through her mind right now?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Hi there. But now, it's made clear they're still going to have to wipe all the memories. Mm-hmm. And Lana knows she's going to go back to being ignorant.
Oh, no. Are we at the part?
Yep.
No!
But of course,
no.
They're right, Lois. I spent most of the last 5 years trying to trick Clark into revealing he was Superboy. Now I understand how dangerous that knowledge can be. But before I let Saturn Girl wipe away my memory, will you do me one favor for me, Superman? Anything if it's within my power, Lana. I want to kiss Superman, not a peck on the cheek, a real kiss just once before you go. Lana, you're only 14 years old. Does that matter? No one here is going to call the cops on you, Superman. Clark, I've dreamed for years that you and I would be together someday, that we'd get married and have children and live happily ever after. Now I know that can never be. Is one kiss too much to ask before you send me back to all the dreams that can never come true? Now you know the context.
Burn.
I get now, unlike other cases, I get what he was going for here, and it's still not justifying
never
it.
Any
no, there's no justification.
There's no valid just. You can't even go off of the it was a different time, because this has always been creepy.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm saying I get what he's going for, but there's no justification.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is what this book will always be known for.
Mm-hmm. At least this particular
volume, yes.
Yeah, you can cut back on the other two.
The other two are fine. This one's like
even the Laura stuff is justifiable.
Yeah, this one.
Yep. But of course, mind is wiped. Everything paused, so they head back in time to the They go to where it all started. Here's the finale. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they actually saved the Legion. They're able to put up a big fight. Now we get, that's not Jon Stewart here. He looks like Jon Stewart, but his name is Jordan Kelly. He's actually the descendant of Hal.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we see Diana still around. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, you're not gonna like how. Let me put it this way: the ending on this is gonna suck.
Oh, really?
And you're gonna hate what happens to Diana. Now, first we get Laura is actually putting up a fight just as they activate the Sky Scorcher. Now, this time she's there at Ground Zero again, but even more so. And it kills her. So she tells them, change it, change everything, but always remember what we had together. And Batman is just as pissed. So now they're going to go after Darkseid to stop it all, destroy their machine, everything. So yeah, they go in for a fight. Yep, we see Batman versus Granny. Batman goes down thanks to this apocalyptian ray, but it turns out she sliced a plasma conduit. So basically all this here is everyone's going to start going down like flies. Batman just went down like a punk. Now, and then we have, what's his name? The assassin guy. Kanto. He poisons Diana.
That's it.
Yep.
God damn it, Byrne.
And we see that Jordan was beaten up off screen. Superman shows up. Everything's starting to already fall apart thanks to what Granny started. And Desaad's trying to revert it. What does Darkseid do? And here is where your life ends, son of Krypton. I don't think so, Desaad. Superman, you fool. Desaad was the only one who had the hope of containing the chain reaction. You don't get it, do you, Darkseid? This doesn't matter. All the rules have changed. Nothing matters except that your menace ends here, and it ends forever. Now we're actually back to the proper 30th century. Bruce, have you seen Cal? He and I were supposed to be meeting with the Selvian ambassador at Bruce? Laura. Bruce, are you okay? It's me, Alana. Alana. Yes, of course. Sorry, just a strange moment. Almost like deja vu. What did you say about Cal? We have an appointment with the Selvian ambassador in just about an hour. We promised the Soviets we'd help them put down the rebel uprising in Celsius 7. I remember. There he is. Cal, something troubling you? I'm not sure. I have the strangest feeling something just slipped my mind. I hope it wasn't anything important. Repeating the first issue's ending. See what I mean? All this ending is.
Yeah. Oh, so it's kind of like a time loop?
No, they just stopped it. It never happened.
That sucks.
So basically, like I told you, this ending makes everything except for the flashback involving BJ and Bruce, because that was beforehand, pointless.
Yeah, this third book sucks.
There is good moments. There are so good moments, but yeah.
But overall, this is definitely the worst of the three.
Hands down.
The worst of the first two are totally fine to great.
Yep, this is. I'm not going to say utter garbage. I'm not going to say that, but it's not good. If I had to give anything, I'd give this a 6.
I'm sorry. This Superman needs to be seen by Chris Hansen. I had to say.
Well, to be fair, it never happened.
No, but still, it was still in the book.
Yep.
In terms of how I rate this out of 10, oh god, this is getting like a 4.
Yep.
Because it's like not only the
ending just tanks it.
The ending, everyone just dies, and they're like, just kidding, and I go, what?
Well, but I mean, granted, there is the whole thing. Well, they stopped it from happening in the first place.
I'm sorry, Wonder Woman being poisoned just by someone touching her? No.
Well, no, there is. You can definitely tell he had a thing on his hand.
Still, no, that would not. Diana's immune to poisons.
That's true. That's true. And especially she's been fighting for centuries.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No.
This was so rushed. This ending was so rushed.
How much you want to bet it was one of those occasions where they're like, okay, you have one more issue? And he goes, oh, crap.
Mm-hmm. I think, even though he knew how many issues he had.
Mm-hmm.
It was always 12. But yeah, this is a rush ending. And again, it taints that, and the kids for the last issue taints this book so much. It wasn't that bad. Wasn't as good. Mm-hmm. Even if you remove those two things, it is still not that great.
Yeah, because it's like, here's the thing with the ending. What's the point of reading this?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It just gets the whole damn book gets undone.
Exactly. Not only that, but the big problem is the century skips.
Oh yeah, that just gets like really
The fact you had to
confusing.
do it, the fact you had to do another issue that filled in the gaps.
If this were my show, I would be blasting that time travel clip right now.
Time travel! But yeah,
That just overly complicated it.
yeah, the fact that you needed, like I said, you needed an issue to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you need a supplementary issue to fill in your convoluted timeline, you've screwed up.
Exactly. I mean, now I get it. Why would they want to think back on some of the events that happened? I get that, but
maybe not. Wonder Bad brings it down for me, so I'm just gonna tell you that. But it's like not only that, but it's like I think it would have been better if there weren't that crazy time skips, like
exactly
centuries. Oh, come on.
Yep. Again, I would say this was the best issue. Issue 5.
Yeah. Here's the other problem with them skipping centuries. The background doesn't change that much. Unless you have those like headings, you don't necessarily know like a century has passed.
Exactly, you don't. You
At
really
least
don't.
Change the way the background looks.
I know. I think that's why they did the whole. I mean, I would say this: doing the Commandi thing that works.
That makes sense because that's in the if that's on the main Earth, that's in the far future.
Now, granted, this is not that far. This is 2125, but still.
But still, it makes sense because that's in the distant future. How's that? But
yeah.
That's built in a future thing. And plus, with that environment, the Commandi environment looks like Ravage. Looks like that Planet of the Apes movie, the most recent Apes movie where it's like all overgrown and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, like I said, there is some good moments here. There really is, but... And again, the fact you ended the same way, I hope it wasn't anything important.
Yeah, I'm like, no, okay. You're not being cute, Byrne.
And again, Diana went down like a punk.
So did Green Lantern. That's the other thing. Green Lantern stumbles in. He just got his ass kicked off panel.
Oh, yeah, and we just got introduced to him. He died.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, what?
And Batman went down like a punk.
Yeah,
I mean, Laura got a better death.
Yeah, it's like that's the other thing. It's like it's not Heroes in Crisis bad, but it's like
and not only that, but
close.
Notice Laura never had to get any punishment for what she did to that parademon.
Yeah, I know.
That's the other thing. It's like it was revealing it to us, the readers, more than anything else.
Yeah, and I'm like, that could have been a very interesting story and stuff, but no.
Nope. Again, I'll be honest, this felt like this is something you needed more time.
Oh, this definitely needed more. Like, put it this way, this could have used a couple more issues, I think, because what you could have done with this is have it where to undo it. There's like an event that happened all the way in the first Generations book that set all this in motion. One of our heroes, it could even be Lara, goes back in time to undo that, and that way it becomes a time loop.
Or you double the issue, have it be 24 issues, and it's every 500 years. Not 500, 50 years.
Yeah, because what you could do because with my time travel idea, that plays into the fact that this whole series is dealing with the passage of time.
Exactly. And that's what worked on the first two minis.
That's what worked on the first two. Exactly.
Yeah,
like, why would you do that?
And again, I get why they went with centuries. They wanted to go from the 20th to the 30th.
But still, it's like, again, at least draw the, because it just looked at a certain point, the centuries backgrounds just look like generic sci-fi place that looked nothing up, that looked the exact same.
And I gotta say this. Okay, how does Superman go? He skipped from the 29th to the 30th century. But still, how does he go from gray-haired to, in the normal timeline to white hair?
Yeah, that's the other thing.
What is his hair going to finally catch up with that last 100?
Maybe he's under so much stress. I don't know.
But now, utilizing the new gods, I say makes sense. Cool.
No, that works, but it's like, again, it's like everything. See, again, yes, there is some good stuff around this, but there's too much bullshit around it.
I know, and Darkseid's plan was ingenious.
Yeah, exactly.
Because sending troops back in time each time they're losing and everything, he just failed to take into account what happens when it reached the end point.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, it's just. It's just I hate this because you know what? It's like it's so rare that New God stories are this like epic, and it's
Yeah.
like this is the story.
Yeah, right down to the dark side pulling a looser.
Yeah, and by the way, that top panel of the Omega beams going in every direction, that is so good.
Yep, and again, this reminds you just how, again, this is clearly an insane dark side.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like overall, yeah, 4, maybe a 3 if I factor in how it treated Wonder Woman, but very low.
Yeah, very low. But I will not say utter garbage. It's garbage, but not utter.
The first 2, I would rank as like a 9 for the first one. Well, actually, no, an 8.
An 8, and then a 9 for the second one because of because there was a lot you liked in that one.
Yeah, because a lot of the filling in the gaps, and when they filled in the gaps, it was a cool stuff. And
Stevie,
yeah, I have to say that right now.
And the ending, this.
Yeah,
brought this up so much.
Issue. You know what? No, I'm giving this a 9 just because of that. That's it.
Yeah.
That last issue just got me, bro.
Yep. But like I said, I say the best issue was the flashback issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it went back to that one. It was dealing with the loose end.
You notice how the best issue is the one not dealing with the current timeline?
Yeah, definitely.
That should tell you something.
Again, I did like how, like I said, this made it clear this was definitely Selena. There's no question.
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
Julie was never this manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, I got why Byrne couldn't make it one way or the other. Neither were compatible with what he was trying to do. Because Julie had left already. It would have been too soon. Selena would have been too late. Because by the time you would have wanted it, it was like, yeah, Selena would not have existed, but didn't exist by that point.
Yeah, exactly.
But this moment here, like I said, yeah, that is such a devious, but yet well-meaning, type of manipulation. I just love it. Just how well do I know my boys? By the way, Bruce, it was on the boat. You know what I'm referencing?
Oh, you mean, is that the whole thing that Tom King was trying to reference?
Boat Street.
Okay.
I still find cute. I still find that cute.
Well, it's not a Tom King original thing, so I can like it.
Well, it is a bit having them bicker about it.
Yeah, but no, this tells me they bickered about it before.
No.
I got the last word.
I made that up, dude.
Oh, okay.
The boat part, that wasn't here. I just made that up.
Oh, god damn it, Robert.
I was being funny. I was being funny, dude. I was trying to reference
that would have worked here because it could have been like she wants to get the last word so as she fades away. It was the boat.
Nope. That was something King made up. Which again, I found that cute. But this moment here again.
Yeah, that was great. But it's like,
anything involving Kara was great.
And Stevie. It's just so sad that so much of the bad stuff is like.
Yep. Oh yeah, Stevie's death and everything. Again, like I said, Steve comes to Themyscira, and Diana decides to come back.
That is another. See, that's again. What that is something that until you brought it up, I didn't put it together. And then now they did. I'm like.
It just dawned on me as I was going over. I'm like,
that is clever.
Yep. Who knows? Maybe I don't even know if Byrne intended it or not.
But that is actually really, really, really good.
Yep. And again, I figured if you saw your daughter have fallen in battle, it might inspire you to become Wonder Woman again. That is such a Batman gambit.
And then again, the shield just looks so dope.
It does. And hey, we're getting Diana with the sword, but it makes sense here.
It's a war. It's like all the people on Twitter that throw a fit with that. I'm like, what's the situation where she breaks out the sword? It's when the crap is about to hit the fan.
And you're dealing with parademons. I'm sorry, that makes more sense.
When it's a dark side invasion, that's end of the world stuff.
Multiple times over during this.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, just stop complaining.
Yeah, again, Mike Carlin, I think ran a good ship on this, but it's just like, Mike, you needed to kind of rein him in a little bit more. or Ivan Cohen, the associate editor. But again, this was just, I give it still a 5 or 6 still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I said, not utter garbage, but it is definitely inferior to the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Like by a huge country mile.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so any other final thoughts you want to give on this?
What a fall.
What a fall. Again, this is what reminds us about the strengths and weaknesses of Byrne.
This is why I keep telling people whenever a series is going, you're enjoying a series, wait until the ending.
Yep, it can. Now, you don't have to count the only count is at the ending if you just go and read it. You don't have to go in and read it. This wasn't required reading.
Good. As far as I'm concerned, the third part didn't happen.
Yep, the only thing except for this issue.
Still, as long I want to completely divorce my enjoyment of this from the third part.
Yep.
While there's some good stuff, it's just there's too much BS.
And the funny thing is that BS, it's just a handful of BS.
But one of them is like massive BS.
Oh, yeah.
And the other stuff is like stacks up.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, can we at least agree? Like I said, the Laura stuff, not as
That was
cringy.
fine.
Yeah, not as cringy because I know people like to bring it up, but it's like, one.
It's like, that's anime rules. So it's like.
It's anime
okay.
rules, and you followed it up to this point, and it what's made the tragedy work. Because then he's like, nope, you look like a child.
And then when she finally got the opportunity to age, he died. So I'm like, okay, they didn't do that. It would be one thing if they did what Clark did with Lana. That'd be one thing.
And then even by the time she's with Bruce, she's aged up.
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Yeah, she's aged up and everything. And we also find out this was the other reason why she lost her powers. For the story reason of killing off her father and sister.
Mm-hmm.
And now Batman with superpowers, I dig it.
Yeah, I like that. That's for one thing, that's a terrifying thought, by the way.
Yeah, and it connected back to the first mini again, utilizing the thing that killed Joel, but he revealed you never did it on an immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And also, this issue was good too.
Yeah, I dug that.
Especially the reveal of, that's why Martha couldn't have kids.
But I will say the best issue in the entire series, 1, 2, and 3, is the Bruce Wayne's parents knew they were going to die. That is the best.
That is hands down the best because
that is 100% the best.
I still think this is one of the best scenes Byrne has ever written.
And that's the best. That's one of the best Batman moments. Forget Generations. That's one of the first Batman. That's one of the best Batman moments.
Agree, but it only works here.
Yeah, it only works there, but it's like, oh wow, that is
and this feels like what they would do. This definitely feels like what they would do, don't you think?
Yeah. Oh yeah. If they knew the good that Bruce is going to do, but they have to die, any parent would want that. They
go to their deaths and like, this is it. And again,
at the very least, they know he won't be alone.
Yep, he made sure Alfred is going to tend to him and everything.
And I'm sure that whoever told them is like, yeah, he's a member of the Justice League.
Yep. And even here, that's the whole like, I know I haven't been saying it. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. Again, that also reminds you just how much they love each other. I can't say that much. What would you say about the overall, the entire trilogy as a whole?
You mean how is it ranked?
Yeah, this whole trilogy as a whole.
As a whole, I'm going to rate it as...
I give it a 7.
7.5.
Yeah, because the first two really do override the bad of the third one.
First two were great, and yeah, exactly. It would be one thing if, like, second one was okay. No, 1 and 2 are fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
To be clear, I know I said I planned on picking up the omnibus. I'm still going to do that.
Yep, and
the rest of it is just so much fun.
And you see why I say this is probably one of my favorite Elseworlds.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of my favorites. I'm right there with you. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, this definitely makes it because it's such a clever idea.
Yeah, I'm like, oh wow.
Watching them age in real time.
Yeah, and seeing the generations take over, and John Byrne somehow doing the daughter of Wonder Woman infinitely better.
Yep. By the way, I also love, if you notice, Hal's head is hidden. Notice that in the cover? I just noticed that now.
Yeah.
His head is hidden to make it a surprise.
Okay, I see that.
That it was Hal, but
that's the other really great part. When the other thing that I will always love this series for, when they reveal, oh yeah, that yellow weakness, that's just like in your mind, and I go, that is so genius.
And that, oh, but what about the wood? Oh, since got conked on the head.
Yeah, and it's like, because all of that goes back to a Green Lantern's will.
Exactly. Now
and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that is spectacular.
Now, this only works if you accept that the rings are the same ring, but no, still. Okay.
You know what? I'm bumping it up to an 8. It gets an 8 because of that.
Yep. Because of that. And again, he did this before.
Because here's the thing. That's something that they could have included in the main continuity because it makes so much sense.
Well, it is before Jeff Johns.
This is before Jeff. So I'm like, this is another explanation for the impurity. No, it's just a mental thing. I'm like, oh, wow, that is true.
Exactly. Now, you didn't have a parallax to need an existence to explain away, you know, which is, I think if Jeff didn't have to undo the damage of the parallax thing, he would have gone with something like this.
Because that makes a lot of sense.
It does. And again, oh boy, even going back to the first generation, Luthor Human Knight's plan is one of the darkest things we've seen in any Elseworld.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so yeah, we can see Stevie and Kara and BJ are
best characters.
And they're a trinity.
This is how you create a trinity, Tom.
But you notice we never saw them interact with each other, though. As a whole trinity.
Yeah, I know.
Except when they were kids.
And isn't it kind of interesting how this trinity is 2 girls, 1 guy? They flipped it.
They definitely flipped it. But yeah, that is by far one of the big shames is that.
And the fact that that's how they explain it, that's the Justice League because they want to be different from the society. I'm like, oh, okay. That's probably a reference to Julie Short saying I said Lee because kids don't like society.
I know, society always sounds like a bunch of old ladies having tea.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, that's so well done.
And that's Stevie saying that. That's so something Diana's daughter would say. Yeah, because and even the stuff here with Dick's ghost tormenting Joker, and then Batman is like, let me see your mask. Oh, Alfred's sacrifice. Let me see your mask one more time. You're the last man on earth I'd ever want to see die happy. That is one of the best ways you handle it with Batman and Joker. Don't have him kill Joker, but have it be he denies him being happy.
Yeah, that works.
That is one of the best ways of doing it. But yeah, again, just so much here. Oh, yep, there's Stevie in her adult outfit.
That is such a well done adult outfit. Again, that looks unique, not generic.
Yep, exactly. It looks very unique. But again, the amount of flashes we went through in that second mini.
Yeah, it's like flash. You could say they went by in a flash.
But yep, and the fight here.
That bat suit is so badass.
It again.
Even
I wish
the Batmobile looked great.
Again, I wish we had got a chance to see this adult trinity.
Yeah, I know. That would have been dope.
Yeah, I wish we could have. And like I said, Batman didn't beat her. He got distracted with Alan.
Yeah, exactly.
That is great. It's like, could he have beaten her? Probably. Well, it looks like he was doing nerve pinches, so he could have. Would you agree? Would you have accepted that? Being defeated by nerve pinches? Because Diana is susceptible to nerve pinches.
Is she though?
If she has nerves.
I mean, I guess.
There's never anything that can actually stop a nerve pinch if you can actually hit the nerve. That's why with Superman, you need to be as strong as him to hit the nerve.
That's what I would say. I would go with Superman rules because Wonder Woman is about as durable.
True.
Roughly about as durable.
True. So, but since we already know Stevie's weakened by the bracelets. So, yeah, the nerve pinch would work then.
Yeah, that would work. That would work in that case.
Because she's weakened.
Yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
if she didn't have it, ain't gonna do anything. Weakened, yes.
I would say Kara would be strong enough to do that.
But yeah, even with half infinity, it's still infinity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I love that line. I love that line. Half of infinity is still infinity.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, but such a shame no Brainiac. This was Brainiac's only appearance, I just realized.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say that was such a shame?
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, overall, this is my favorite Elseworld. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it's fun. It's a cool concept.
It is fun. It is cool. The third one brings it down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not enough to totally tank this whole trilogy.
No, luckily the rest of the books, the previous two were as perfect as you could get. That's why it's like two perfects and one crap. That's still like a 75. That's still at least like.
Yeah, it's good. It's silver. It's silver. It's not gold.
That's
it's
still
silver.
That's still like an A ranking, I would say.
Exactly. There's again so much good in these first two. Just what was he thinking with this one?
I don't know.
I think the problem was he was given too much space.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because remember, it was 4 prestiges each, so that was the equivalent of 8 issues.
Mm-hmm.
He was given 12 normal size issues.
Uh-huh.
That would have been the equivalent of 6 prestige books.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was given too much to work with.
Yeah.
Or too much space. Because you also know how a lot of the stuff is spinning the wheel.
Yep.
I think that was the problem. I think the first two did too good. So when he was offered the third one to make it the ongoing, that was the problem. Because yeah, it only came out 2 years after the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So this was clearly done in response to the success of the first two. So they decided, people like it enough, let's make it 12 issues.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining me in this one, Jared. This was a great ramp, but we still got 2 more Byrne-related books, Elseworld books to cover still. We still have Batman Captain America, which does tie into this loosely, and we have Darkseid Galactus.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to those?
Hell yeah.
But yep, we'll see you guys on